It wouldn't be right if the start of the year didn't have the tried and true narrative. LeBron needs help. We hear it on First Take, we hear it on Undisputed, we hear it on NBA Today, First Things First, Twitter/X, Instagram, Facebook. Wherever you consume your daily dose of NBA or sports information, someone has brought this up within the last few weeks. Whether it was his time in Miami, his second stint in Cleveland, or his run with the Lakers, we keep hearing the same things over and over. And I think it's becoming a scapegoat, an excuse, and quite frankly, a bad precedent to how teams should model their operations in the current era. It's simply a bad look. So in this video, I'm going to give my thoughts on why the LeBron needs help narrative is killing the NBA. But before I jump into that, please like and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 1,000 subs and can't get there without you guys. Also, if you enjoy podcasts, and we all do, subscribe to the GOATcast podcast in the link in the description for more analysis between myself and co-host Big Nige. So now let's jump into why this narrative is such a bad look. Now let me preface this by saying there absolutely have been seasons where LeBron and his talent had to overstretch and overwork to get his team to a respectable place, whether that be the playoffs or at times even the NBA Finals. That can be stated for many top stars who have been surrounded by mediocre or subpar players and have been called upon to lead them to greatness. It is not an easy task, and many, if not most, have failed. My problem with this is twofold. First and foremost, just look at some of the guys that have been moved when playing on the same team as LeBron. Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Kuzma, Russell Westbrook, and Brandon Ingram. Even one of his best friends in Dwayne Wade was moved during a tumultuous season, but I could kind of understand that one. Looking back at Wiggins, drafted number 1 in the 2014-2015 draft to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That, as we remember, was LeBron James' first season back to Cleveland after his Miami stint. Having 2 rings now under his belt, LeBron came back to Cleveland in full GM mode. Having felt the high of multiple chips, I guess LeBron felt he knew what the Cavs needed, and it wasn't the young Wiggins. So in a move that was done only one time before in the ABA-NBA merged league, the number 1 pick was traded to another team before he even stepped foot in an NBA game. Now, in hindsight, the move, I guess, benefited both because Kevin Love was able to help that Cavs team win a chip, and Wiggins was able to win one as well with the Golden State Warriors. So if the move wasn't made, maybe Wiggins' path would have been different. But you have to wonder how he could have benefited from playing with maybe the greatest small forward of all time. This current season aside, he's been a very solid NBA player, averaging 19 points per game in his career, and being a 35% shooter from 3, as well as a solid defender. He was also a major factor in the Warriors' 2022 championship. So much, his name was mentioned for Finals MVP. Imagine what LeBron may have been able to accomplish with a Robin, in this case, Wiggins, to his Batman. Then there's Brandon Ingram, the second overall pick in the 2016-2017 draft. Another solid wing player that was young and hungry and could have benefited from some extended time on the court with LeBron James. They did have one season together, where the now one-time All-Star averaged 18.3 in 2019. We know LeBron loves being surrounded by shooters, so that was likely what spelled his doom, not to mention they needed to dangle his contract to New Orleans to receive the services of Anthony Davis. And in hindsight, it paid off for the Lakers for the most part. But Ingram is another all-star level player that even today is playing great basketball and could have been a very solid sidekick to LeBron. This brings me to Kyle Kuzma, yet another wing. Not exactly an all-star like the other two have been, but the numbers don't lie. He's a stud in Washington. However, is that really a compliment, seeing as the Wizards are a lowly 7-33 as of this recording, so being one of the best players on a bad team isn't exactly a positive, but still. He's averaging career highs in points, 21.2, and assists, 3.7. And is a versatile wing that can give you solid minutes at 3 and the 4. A career 34% shooter from 3, that is a knock for him and might be the trend we're seeing with wings that these teams shipped in hopes of getting help for LeBron. Kuzma was abysmal in the Lakers' 2022 playoff run, so I'm sure that made parting ways with him fairly easy. But with his ability to put the ball in the basket, we've seen that he can be a bucket for the Lakers alongside LeBron, but instead they rid his services in a trade for the next guy, Russell Westbrook.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If you have any basketball knowledge, even at middle school level, you knew from the start that this addition to the Lakers made absolutely no sense. Westbrook is a Hall of Famer, no question. His stats are close to incredible. A 9-time All-Star and gold medal recipient at the 2012 Olympics, But as they say in boxing, styles make fights, and styles make teams and cohesion. Westbrook's style is almost the polar opposite of what works well with the LeBron James-centric team. He's not a consistent mid-range or three-point shooter, and he's mostly an energy guy. But LeBron being a dribble, run down the clock, and pass late in the shot clock to a shooter type of player, you absolutely destroy the benefits of what Russ gives you. The crazy thing is everyone knew it wouldn't work, and when it didn't, put almost all of the blame on Russ, who was simply playing the way that has made him into a future Hall of Famer. Not his fault, and another casualty of the LeBron needs help mantra. These were just a few guys that can or at least could be max players, but for some reason, alongside LeBron, hey, they weren't good enough, or so they say. And the fact that you make these players seem like they're the reason the team is losing just kills a player's confidence, especially a young player that's just entering in the NBA or trying to find their way. So I get it, it's not all LeBron doing that, but when he doesn't come out and speak against the media, pointing fingers at the guys on his team, then why would those guys want to play hard? And it could ruin careers. But so far, most of those guys have bounced back. My second problem is, as LeBron ages, why should an organization put together a team that benefits LeBron instead of constructing a team that benefits from LeBron? Hear me out if you're confused. Why not have a team firmly built that LeBron's efforts are the cherry on top instead of having LeBron James' efforts need specific players to possibly make his efforts work? Simply put, why are they trading to build around LeBron instead of Anthony Davis, or building a team that has multiple players that complement each other so that you can plug 39-year-old LeBron in and he doesn't have to be the one exerting the most? We use the fact that the mid-90s Bulls were still solid and able to win after Michael Jordan left for his first retirement. However, Jerry Krause did what any competent GM should do, and having one player off the court won't completely derail their regular season. Of course, you need a guy like Jordan or LeBron when the playoffs come, because as we've seen, it takes an otherworldly star to catapult a good team to the trophy. And I get it, sports media needs buzzwords and eye catchers to get or keep their ratings up, so whenever LeBron-led teams are not dominating, it quickly switches to he needs help, and not the team needs help, or structure, or an actual system that works for the skill sets matched together. It's just a weird flex to me. You see teams like the Denver Nuggets and currently Minnesota Timberwolves, and how they try to bring some sense of long-term chemistry by experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't, but not being quick to give up on players if there's a few skids or hardships. It's like trying to find the right fast food chain that will give you Michelin star quality food. We saw what the changes did for the Lakers last year, and you would think they wanted to build upon that run that got them to the Western Conference Finals. But now some of the guys that got them there are on the chopping block. I understand it's good content. I mean, here I am talking about it myself. But there's plenty of potential contenders that legitimately need help. Look no further than the Golden State Warriors, or the one or two piece away Phoenix Suns, even the Philadelphia Sixers and the Milwaukee Bucks, who are looking solid in the regular season, have groups that may be iffy when it comes to playoff basketball. They need help too, but there's very few 15 to 20 minute segments on most of these teams on sports media every day. I know LeBron is a polarizing figure, and his fans and even his detractors, myself included, want to see him go out on top. We don't want a sad Kobe-style tour where the game outcome isn't really in question, but it's just an exhibition of a retiring player. No, we want some theatrics of one more heroic run by one of the greatest of all time. We just want to see it organically instead of basically renting a team to win a championship. I know an organization like the Lakers can get away with it because they're a hot destination for any up-and-coming star, so even if LeBron leaves them in shambles, they'll be able to pick up the pieces. I guess we'll wait and see what help he gets once the trade deadline hits, and will it lead to another deep playoff run. But what do you guys think? Do you think LeBron really needs more help, and has that been the case these last 6 or 7 years in the league? Let me know in the comments section. Also, if you want to ascend to GOAT status like number 23, please like and subscribe to the channel. Getting close to 1K subs and can't do it without you guys. And definitely, if you guys want to check out our podcast, I have the links in the description. Thank you all for watching and I hope you enjoy the content.